Well then, welcome back to the channel. Stephen Howson, Manchester United versus Manchester City player ratings following the humiliation in the Manchester derby. We'll start with the goalkeeper, like we always do. And listen, Luke Shaw, maybe come back to a different video, mate. Maybe come back tomorrow, because it ain't going to be good for you. Bruno ain't going to be good for you. There's a few of you that ain't going to like this. We start with the goalkeeper. 4 out of 10. Biggest test since finding himself as seemingly United's number one. And the scoreline looks brutal. Now, he wasn't the main culprit. He faced not many chances, but they were relatively high-quality chances, and he was beaten by good finishing. Couldn't call them obvious mistakes. You would maybe have wanted him to do better with them, but they weren't obvious errors. They weren't... You can't look at what went in and say, oh, he's thrown it in there. His distribution wasn't good. 16 out of 29 passes, 55%. Only 6 of his 19 long balls were accurate. If United wanted to use him to help bypass City's press, he just turned possession back over to them. Now, defensively, what we got from him was 1 clearance, 1 block shot, and 1 save. Don't know how much he could have done for Foden's opener. Think he probably could have done better with the second one. Don't think he's culpable for any of the goals, but I don't think he inspired confidence into the rest of the team either. It's a 4. Leny Yoro. Tough one for him because he's been rolled for the second one. 96% pass completion, 26 out of 27. 4 out of 5 accurate long balls. He was neat, he was secure. He had a lot of work to do. 3 clearances, 2 interceptions, but he did commit 1 error, which led to a shot. Now, telling, he lost every duel, 0 out of 4. For a centre-half against City, that means he wasn't competing. So, I'm going to say 5 for Leny Yoro. But a lot of play came down his side, and he didn't cope with it well enough for me. Matty De Ligt, 6 out of 10. He was our best defender, by a mile, actually. But it's still only a 6 out of 10. You've conceded 3, and you weren't blameless for any of it either. Raw, the numbers on him look really impressive. 9 clearances, 5 tackles, 2 interceptions, 6 out of 7 duels. Monster performance from him. Disruptive performance from him. But a lot of that defending was emergency work because United were in just broken shapes. His passing wasn't bad. 37 out of 43 passes, 86%. 2 out of 3 accurate long balls. Steady on the ball. He did have an error that led to a shot. Maybe a bit of lack of recovery pace on him for the third. Left trailing a little bit. Certainly wasn't embarrassed. Out of the defence, he's probably the only one who can look himself in the mirror after that. It was a solid effort from him. I can't say it was good, but it was, it was solid. It was a busy one for De Ligt, so that's why he gets a 6. Luke Shaw, start with a good. It was a reliable pair of hands when it came to being in possession. 91% pass completion, 51 out of 56, 6 out of 7 accurate long balls. Relatively tidy when we had the ball. Defensive work wasn't good. Just 2 clearances, and he was dribbled past badly. It was an error, to be honest. It's absolutely flat-footed. Against someone like Doku, the foot position in the hip position is just not correct. You're too side on, so you're too flat. You need to get side on, and you've been absolutely cooked for him. For the second one, he gets nowhere near Haaland whatsoever. He's completely switched off. He only wins 4 out of 8 of his duels. Bang average. On the ball, he was composed, but when he was forced to turn or defend properly, he just didn't have the sharpness to cope with either Doku or Haaland. And it wasn't good enough. He actually looked like a player that was coming back from an injury rather than being someone that's actually played the level and amount of football that he has recently. 4 out of 10. You cannot scroll through the news right now without seeing it. Another week, another big UK company has suffered a cyber attack. We are seeing it with major retailers like M&S, the Co-op, even government contractors. It is a constant reminder our personal data is at risk. Whether it is your passwords, your banking info, or your private messages. And that's why I use Surfshark VPN. It's an essential part of my digital life. They are a long-term partner and a sponsor of today's video. Surfshark does not just let you access content from anywhere. It is a powerful tool for protecting yourself from the very threats that we are seeing in these headlines. It encrypts all my personal data and it blocks those dangerous websites so I can browse, bank, shop without a worry. And right now, new users are going to get 4 months extra for free when you visit surfshark.com/Howson and use my code Howson. Surfshark also features Clean Web, which automatically blocks ads, trackers, malware, which are often the entry point for those hackers. It has bank level encryption to make sure that nobody can snoop on your private information. It has protection for an unlimited number of devices just on one single account. Your phone, your laptop, even your smart TV are all covered. So whether you're checking the latest transfer news or just browsing on public Wi-Fi, Surfshark ensures you stay private, secure, and in control. Protect yourself from the very threats in today's headlines. Get 4 extra months for free at surfshark.com/Howson or enter the code Howson today. Mazraoui, 6.5. One of United's better performers as he tends to be. 26 out of 30 passes, 87%, 2 out of 2 accurate long balls. Wasn't a lot of penetration with him. A dual monster. And this is why I think you have to try him in midfield. He's just got a habit of sniffing a duel out. And he wins so many of them. Won 10 out of 16. Physically, he commits. He gave away 2 fouls, but whatever. He was contesting them at least. 5 clearances, 3 tackles, 2 block shots. Mate, he gets involved. He absolutely gets involved. You know, he was one of the few that met City's intensity, and he was solid with the ball, solid without the ball. Why won't we try him in a 6? Why won't we do that? You know, his willingness to fight arguably stopped the scoreline from spiralling. Defensive numbers show graft. Maybe lacked the incision to do more with the ball, but it's not his job. He did his job. 6.5. Bruno. Bruno. I'm going to say 5. He had 86 touches, which was the most out of any United player. He was trying to make things happen. He had 2 key passes, 1 big chance created, 2 tackles, 2 clearances, lost possession 20 times. 60 out of 61% pass accuracy, 8 out of 10 accurate long balls. He tried 6 crosses, only 1 of them was accurate. He worked hard, but he's a player that plays on instinct and he plays on heart, and it was lacking. The instinct to be a defender was lacking to play him in the position. He's just a player playing out of position. Let's have it right. He's a player playing out of position, and it showed. So 5 for Bruno. Ugarte, partnered with Bruno, he's doing 2 men's work. So I'm going to say 6. He did his job in front of defence, but he didn't do much more than that. 41 out of 46 passes, secure. 3 out of 3 long balls, safe. 6 clearances, 3 tackles, 2 interceptions. The volume of work was there from him. He won 5 out of 8 of his duels. He screened reasonably well, and his stats prove how involved he was. But he was bypassed when City increased the tempo. Energy is the best thing that he brings. But when he's basically operating as a one-man midfield because Bruno's got too giddy and been dragged out of position, he can't do it all. You know, he looked like a firefighter trying to put out a forest fire with a fire extinguisher. Wasn't enough. He needed more help in there. So 6. Another one on a 6 is Dorgu. Full of running. Arguably the most energetic on the pitch for us. 3 key passes. 4 accurate crosses out of 7. 6 clearances, 4 tackles, 2 interceptions. He won 11 out of 17 duels. He was busy. You know, I thought he played fearless, but the final ball from him, even though I know he's got 3 key passes here, the final ball from him wasn't quite there from him. You know, his youth shown with some of his decision making. He maybe overcarried it or lost it a little bit cheap, but he tries. He gets involved. You know, it was a raw display, but encouraging, and certainly one that you know he's not a problem in the side. You know, he's just someone that's still adapting to playing in England, I think. But there's absolutely something to work with for him. So it's a 6 out of 10, I think, for Dorgu. Mbuemo, I'm going to say 6.5. 1 shot on target, 3 off. Again, busy. Maybe could have got a little bit more on it. 0.68 for his XG. 1 big chance missed, which is, you know, that's what they call it. It wasn't really missed. 5 crosses, 1 accurate. 33 out of 42 passes. He was involved in 10 duels. The chance he missed at 1-0 was big because that could have really swung the game, and if it had levelled it, it might have give United a little bit of impetus. But he was United's main threat. Probably the only outlet for us, even though he could have done a little bit better with the shots that he had. He was the one that was stretching them. So 6.5. Diallo, I'm going to say 6. There was encouragement, but nothing decisive. A bit too safe with his passing. 35 out of 38. I don't really want my wingers to have 92% pass completion. I'd like to see them take a bit more risk. There's got to be a balance to it. 2 key passes created 1 big chance. 2 dribbles attempted, non-successful. That's where we want to see him play with the risk a little bit. 2 tackles, 1 interception, 3 clearances, a bit of defensive work, but he was trying to link play. I want to see him play with a bit more risk, a little bit more invention, a little bit more just like bollocks, because he can do it. Sesko, 5 out of 10, just a 1 shot on target. 8 out of 14 passes, no key passes, no dribbles. He won 3 out of 9 duels, mostly in the air. A little bit of a passenger. He looked like he was making decent runs, and he was trying in the first half, and he held people off nice in the first half. But as soon as City got into their stride, he was just non-existent. It was just poor, wasn't it? Of course it was. It was just poor. So, yeah, we have to be better. I don't know how we get better, but we have to be better. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree with any of those? Do you disagree with any of those? Who was your man of the match? And what do we change for Chelsea? See you in a bit. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.